Egypt has a rich history of countless civilizations that amazes us. But for scientists, the country is home to the most perplexing discoveries on the planet. Let's take a look at some of those discoveries that scare the scientists. Mummified cats and scarabs found. I too didn't see this coming. Archaeologists unearthed a collection of what they described as something really a bit rare. Mummified cats and scarab beetles in a series of ancient tombs. 7 sarcophagi were found on the edge of the King Userkaf pyramid complex, containing dozens of mummified cats, scarabs, and a crocodile. Ancient Egyptians believed that cats held a special position in the afterlife, while the scarabs held religious significance, symbolizing the sun god. The findings were made at Saqqara, south of Cairo, dating back more than 4,000 years ago. Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Four-legged whale fossil found. In August 2021, scientists made a fascinating discovery of a 43-year-old mammalian fossil of a previously unknown amphibious four-legged whale species in Egypt. Researchers hope it will help trace the evolution of whales from land to sea. This newly unearthed whale remains belong to the Protocetidae, a group of extinct whales. It was discovered from Middle Eocene rocks in the Fayum Depression in Egypt's western desert. The new whale, named Phimochetus anubis, notorious for its deadly bite and strong jaw, had an estimated body length of about 3 meters and a body mass weighing 600 kilograms. According to the researchers, it was likely a top predator. Egyptian tombs crammed with snacks. Archaeologists have discovered a lot of everyday items in both royal and non-royal tombs. Yet, here is something that is literally out of the ordinary. An Egyptologist presented some of the preserved foods that were unearthed from the tomb of Tutankhamun, a young pharaoh who lived around 1342 BC to 1325 BC. Bread, beer with onion, garlic, and some dried pitted dates and grains. It was literally a luxury cuisine. Besides these, they discovered containers of jute and wood, each carved into the shape of food it contained. Ancient Egyptians firmly believed in life after death, so they wanted to have a better afterlife. Most of the time, the tomb of great royal pharaohs were packed with food items, as they were assumed that these delicacies should be available to them for their next life. Gold treasure found. The fact that more than a dozen mummies have been discovered, it should come to no surprise if some ancient treasure was also discovered. A clip captured and posted in May 2018 by an unknown source shows a huge stockpile of ancient artifacts and statues made or covered of gold. It is unclear as to whether this treasure is real or not, but it sure does look to be very real. I'd certainly not reveal such a find. If you have more information about this clip, please do share it with us down in the comments. King Tut's mummy unveiled. The face of King Tut was unshrouded in public for the first time in July 2015. This was 85 years after the 3,000-year-old boy pharaoh's golden enshrined tomb and mummy were discovered in Luxor's famed Valley of the Kings. King Tut was a 19-year-old pharaoh whose life and death has captivated people for nearly a century. After the body was removed from the shrine, it was placed in a climate-controlled glass box in the tomb, with only the face and feet showing under the linen covering. Another issue of mass tourism is further deteriorating the mummy due to the humidity and heat caused by people entering the tomb, and their breathing could risk the mummy turning to powder. Pharaohs' chariots discovered. During a survey operation in 2000, a remote submarine discovered ancient military remnants belonging to a pharaoh, after it was sent into the Nuwabi Sea at depths between 18 to 60 meters deep. A number of parts were found which, according to the slender table-like structure, a straight shaft with a circular top and axle, certainly looked to be an ancient chariot. dozens more parts were found scattered across the seabed of some 1.5 miles. What do you think this could have been? Do share with us your opinion in the comments. Ancient Egyptian Zoo. With Hierakonpolis being a very important site for the beginning of Egyptian civilization, it holds a lot of mysteries. A team of scientists discovered a prehistoric cemetery after digging in the ancient Egyptian city of Nekhen, where skeletons of wild animals not native to Egypt were found. These animals were kept in cages and fed by the humans, such as ostriches, crocodiles, and leopards, hippopotami, baboons, and African wildcats. Upon carbon dating, they found it to be 6,000 years old. It is unclear as to how they would bring all these animals from different parts of the world, but certainly life wasn't easy for them. They probably had short lives, and their remains show evidence of severe injuries. Lost Golden City unearthed. This is the biggest discovery since Tutankhamun's tomb. In 2021, the lost golden city of Aten was some 3,000 years ago and is believed to be the largest ancient city ever found in Egypt. Excavation started in September 2020 between the temple of Ramses III and Amenhotep III near Luxor, some 3,000 miles south of Cairo. Within weeks, the archaeologist team found the mud brick formations that ran in all directions. Tomb discovered in pristine condition. In 2018, archaeologists in Egypt unearthed a carved tomb that hasn't been disturbed or looted ever since it was sealed 4,400 years ago. The discovery was made at the Saqqara archaeological site south of Cairo. The tomb belongs to a royal purification priest, Wahati, who served during the 5th dynasty of the Pharaohs. Reliefs in the tomb show Wahati and his family, including scenes of everyday life. Additional 5 shafts were found in the tomb, with one of them empty, but the rest of the 4 remain sealed and soon to be excavated in the coming days. The tomb is 33 feet long, almost 10 feet wide, and just under 10 feet high. Mummified fetus. In April 2021, a Polish archaeological research team uncovered the first case of a pickled fetus inside an ancient Egyptian woman. Scientists from the Warsaw Mummy Project revealed that the body belongs to a pregnant woman who lost her life between 20 and 30 years old. Judging by the good quality of the body mummification, experts believe that the woman belonged to the high-status community in the Thebes. This mummified woman is also believed to be around 26 to 30 weeks pregnant, and the fetus had pickled inside the womb. Statues of goddess Skemet discovered. A video posted in July 2015 shows a discovery that was made of several statues of goddess Skemet. She was considered the goddess of war and healing while being represented in the shape of a woman and the face of a lion. In her left hand, she holds the Anki symbol, the symbol of eternal life, with which she heals and provides life. Experts believe that this discovery could play a crucial role in reconstruction of the mortuary temple of Amenhotep III. The statues were found when the team was carrying out restoration work on the temple of Amenhotep III on the west bank of the southern city of Luxor. Discovery of an intact tomb at Saqqara. The tomb in Saqqara, Egypt reveals a masterpiece when Dr. Zahi Hawass went 11 meters down the tomb along with his team, and as soon as he spotted the 2,600-year-old sealed limestone sarcophagus, he got so stunned that he couldn't think about anything else besides opening it. So, after cracking down the sarcophagus, there was a mummy, beautifully preserved, that they decided to take it back with them to perform some tests and experiments for the gold and amulets. Apart from this, there were mummies all around. A corpse of a child and a dog buried beside a mummy. Archaeologists discover tomb of Goldsmith. Near the Nile city of Luxor, Egyptian archaeologists have discovered the tomb of a prominent goldsmith who was known to have lived more than 3,000 years ago. According to Egypt's Minister of Antiquities, Khaled al-Ahani, the tomb is supposed to date back to Egypt's 18th dynasty New Kingdom era. And since it is the goldsmith's tomb, it revealed many unearthed mummies, sarcophagi, statues, and even wooden carved masks, beside the obvious amount of pernicious jewelry. Looted tomb found. Archaeologists found a looted tomb after they hacked a fresh trail of a snake in the sand leading towards it. One of the archaeologists stepped in and began carefully excavating. Minutes later, looted and burned remains of a mummy were discovered. According to them, ancient looters tend to loot the tombs after burning, as it makes it easier for them to open up, even though precautions are taken to preserve the body after mummification. Archaeologists unveil new findings. Another fascinating discovery of an ancient female mummy was made in 2018. After 5 months of excavation, and with the help of French archaeologists, authorities have unveiled a more than 3,000-year-old female mummy that was still perfectly preserved. The name of the female mummy was found to be Thuya, and the second sarcophagus that was found belonged to a man called Huri, dating back to the 17th dynasty, while the other sarcophagus was from the 18th dynasty. Dozens of carved wooden statues and funerary figures were also found at the site in El Asiaf, Luxor, near the Valley of the Kings on the banks of the Nile. Oldest ever shipwreck found. A video posted in 2021 shows the discovery of a 2,200-year-old shipwreck that archaeologists made at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. At first, it was believed to be a wreck of a military vessel discovered underneath the ancient city of Heraklion, a city that was destroyed by earthquakes in the 2nd century BC. This shipwreck illustrates the presence of the Greek merchants who lived in that city. It was unearthed under 5 millimeters of clay and debris, along with a burial site, which was covered in a pile of rocks. Cache of mummified animals. A video posted in November 2019 shows a menagerie of mummified animals that went on display south of Cairo, along with what authorities say is the world's largest scarab beetle. Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, Secretary General Mustafa Waziri, led the mission last year when the discoveries were made. It also included a cache housing ancient artifacts, including masks, statues, mummified cats, crocodiles, cobras, birds, and much more. Tombs of the pyramid builders discovered. The first discovery of workers' tombs on the Giza Plateau on the western edge of Cairo in 1990 came about accidentally when a horse stumbled on a brick structure 10 meters away from the burial area. These tombs belonged to workers who built the pyramids of Khufu and Khafre and were built beside the King's Pyramid at the entrance of a necropolis. Thousands of mud mounds belonged to the workers. Besides these, there were some higher tombs that belonged to the foremen of that time. Researchers have also found graffiti on the walls of tombs that means Friends of Khufu, another sign that they were not slaves. Whale fossil in Egyptian desert. A complete fossilized skeleton of a primitive whale was discovered in Egypt's western desert. This 18-meter-long, well-preserved skeleton is believed to be about 40 million years old. The whale skeleton of a Basilosaurus isis from stem to stem was found in Wadi Highton, also known as the Valley of Whales, that is unusually rich in fossils, remains of different species of whale and other sea creatures trapped in a sandstone formation that formed the seabed. The discovery of this giant bone structure could shed light on why there are so many fossilized remains of whales and other ancient sea animals in Wadi Highton, or possibly how the extinct animal swam in that region. Preserved mummies found. After years and years of foreign-led archaeological digs, researchers unearthed 30 ancient coffins in 2019. This footage shows perfectly preserved mummies inside 3,000-year-old coffins in front of Hatshepsut Temple at Valley of the Kings in Luxor. They contain the mummified remains of men and women, as well as 2 children, who were identified by the shape of the hands on the coffin. Coffins, which were carved with the hands open, meant they were female, while if the hands were balled into fists, they held males. The coffins were sealed, stacked on top of each other, and arranged in 2 rows about 3 feet below the sand. first coffin was discovered as the head was partially exposed, and gradually the rest. Mummified babies found. Tutankhamun's tomb containing the mummified bodies of 2 baby girls was discovered in 1922. The mummies were examined more closely and given a DNA test to match with King Tutankhamun. It was found that the infants had deformities just like their father. It was assumed that the babies were twins and their ages at the time of death were unknown. As Tutankhamun had no other wives, it's likely that the children were born to Angesiamun. Burial of these girls, besides their father, was something out of the box. Yet Egyptologists believed it to be a ritual burial, as ancient Egyptians believed in insurance and life after death. So, the mummies of girls were probably put there to protect the pharaoh on his journeys, as the female was often cast as protectors. This picture was taken by an unknown source that shows what looks to be remains of a destroyed chariot, along with the skeletons of the horses alongside it. Since the discovery in 2017, 4 chariots and 90 horse skeletons have been unearthed from the pit, the largest of the 3 within the cluster that have been excavated so far. Egyptian archaeologists are trying to figure out the details as to how these chariots ended up here and who they belong to. The site is, however, found to be 3,000 years old. If you have any more information, do share it with us in the comments section. Most exciting discovery of decades. A team of Egyptologists noticed some formations of mud bricks in all directions that led to the discovery of a 3,000-year-old city. Welcome to Aten, the last golden city of Egypt, the largest ancient city and most important archaeological find since King Tutankhamun's tomb that is ready to reveal the lives of ancient pharaohs. This unearthed site of this well-preserved city was in good condition, with almost complete walls and rooms filled with tools of daily life such as jewelry, colored pottery, scarab beetle amulets, and seals of Amenhotep III. The city dates to the reign of Amenhotep III, who ruled from 1391 to 1353 BC, and continued to be used by Pharaohs A and Tutankhamun. Greek mummies discovered. Located 160 miles south of Cairo, archaeologists made a remarkable history in Egypt by uncovering 2 tombs 9 meters below the ground with more than 6 rooms. Inside them were 40 ancient Greek mummies at a burial site in Tuna el-Gebel. The mummies of 12 children, 6 animals, and adult men and women were found resting in open coffins inside a collapsing underground chamber in Minya. It was something very unexpected, as mummification is associated with ancient Egypt. Yet these Greek mummies hint that the practice continued under the kingdom founded by Ptolemy, which lasted from 323 BC to 30 BC. Besides, these shards of pottery and papyrus found at the site link the discovery of the Ptolemaic era. Blue Hole, Egypt. Blue Hole is a marine sinkhole located on the coast of the Red Sea. This spot is famous for freediving, for its easy access directly from the shore and the lack of current, but it is known to have the highest diving fatality rate in the world. Although the Blue Hole itself is not any more dangerous than any other dive site in the Red Sea, diving through the Arch, a submerged tunnel which lies within the Blue Hole site, is an extreme dive that results in many accidents and fatalities. Well, that's all guys for today. Thank you for watching the video, and if you guys found it interesting, I would much appreciate it if you comment down below about the video and leave the thumbs up. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.